Hey everybody, welcome to the latest edition of the Diamond Discussion. I am your host, Demetrius Woods, and today I got my guy Didi back on the show, along with the owner of the Macon Rampage Amateur Football team, CJ. So without further ado, we're going to get this party started and ask a few questions. Alright guys, welcome once again to the show. I am really excited to have my brother, dear friend, Didi on the show once again. But today we've also got a special guest. His name's Carl Story, CJ. He actually owns an amateur football team out of Macon, Georgia, first year team, right? Just finished the first season.
Finished our first year, yeah.
Good deal. So talk us through, before we kind of dig in, talk us through how that came about. So Macon Rampage, this is a serious deal. This is some chump change league team, right? I mean, this is a big opportunity for men of all ages, is that right? Or
yeah.
How does this come about?
So in the beginning, my cousin, like I said, I started this to help guys I went to high school with, and my cousin Chavis. So the summer of last year, he was playing summer ball. I was like, well, just try it out. You know, we trying to get you back to college, get a little film. So as I started, I kind of was a spy. You know what I mean? Okay.
I got you.
I had a little camera, and I was like, I'll record film and I'll take pictures or whatever. So I was just trying to see how the semi-pro game worked, and you know, why people even bother putting their time into it. And so it's a lot of bullshit, but it's like diamonds in the rough, right, once you do it the right way. And I did my research. I went to like 5 or 6 games, and I noticed what semi-pro teams didn't have, and I made sure when I started my team we have what they didn't have, and that was crowds, atmosphere, nice uniforms, a band. Like, it was just the organization part,
right?
Because without that, it's more so adult rec ball, and you ain't getting nowhere playing adult rec ball. Like, that's just what it is. So I did the planning. It took me about 3 months to come up with a pitch deck, and I did all the numbers, projections, realistic world numbers, perfect world numbers. And when I got all my stuff together, I pitched it to a couple of investors I knew.
Okay.
I ended up landing 2 up front and then 2 on the back end.
Wow.
So fast forward, we get to, when was that? Probably about August, September, and I just put the tryout thing up there, and I'm like, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, we had about 50 guys show up who were interested, and just because who I am as a person and my track record from being at Northeast to Fort Valley to Florida State, coming back, you know what I'm saying, back to Georgia. I was in Atlanta for a little bit, and back to Macon, it was like, all right, this guy's serious about what he's doing.
Sure.
And I think that was more so the driving factor too, why I was so successful, because who I am as a person, people you know, knew me or whatnot. And after that, shoot, like I said, it just it was like divine, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, because one thing fell into place and the next thing started falling. Then I was reaching out to Contavious, you know what I'm saying, we at Fort Valley together. Then Chavis reached out to Damarius. I'm like, damn, we starting to get quality players in.
Right. And
like I said, everything just clicked. And from the first time we practiced at Central City Park, just out there with shirts and damn footballs, to game 1, it's like, wow. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then I couldn't have gotten this far without my co-owner, Kevin Hester. He owns older white guy that owns a construction company.
Okay.
His 3 sons play. And when I pitched it to them, it was like, I seen Kevin's eyes, like, yeah, man, I'll help you do it. Because his sons hadn't played high school ball, so this was a chance to get a nostalgic moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when we all worked together, dude, it was amazing. Like, it is hard to put into words that we're a first year team. We got professional football player, like, from an amateur football status. Is like, not only we got pro guys, we have college guys. I sent the guy deep Division 1, Kennesaw State. Right? Yeah, so I'm like, okay, we're doing something right. And I can't even, I don't know, man. This is like, I guess it's just me. I guess it was meant for me.
I mean, can you say it's a dream come true, or did you truly envision all of this materializing like this?
So, funny story. I started the first ever club baseball team in Fort Valley, right? This was 2017. So I'm on the pawn shop on the east side. It was Cash America. I'm in there telling one of the cashiers about the baseball team I did. This lady, I swear to God, this lady says, God just said you were on not a football team, you were on a team one day. And it stuck. I said, on a team? I'm like, when you say on a team, I'm thinking about the Patriots. Yeah. Because I'm like, I got no damn money. What you talking about? So I'm like, okay, cool. And from 2017 to 2024, it's like, I own the team now. So yeah, I'd say yeah, it's more so like a dream come true because I can't play football no more. I mean, a little backstory about that. I was a junior at Fort Valley, doing my regular football stuff, getting my physical. I went on the sudden cardiac arrest, and they put an ICD in my chest, and so they was like, well, you can't really take contact no more. Even though I was healed completely, that device stopped me from getting hit. So that's when I pursued baseball seriously. But I look back around to football when my cousin Chavis, he kept catching hell. Like he had went to GMC, that's where y'all met. Mm-hmm. I had told him, I said, bro, go JUCO. If you're not getting any offers out of high school, just go JUCO. Right. He went from GMC, then went to Georgia State, and it was just like a lot of just mishaps. And I'm like, all right, let me start something. If I start, I can control the narrative. Yeah. And to say a dream come true, I say, yeah, man, because the vision was, I can't play anymore, so I'll help anybody I can who still got the drive to play. And so, yeah, I say it was a dream come true.
I gotta be honest with you, man, I said this offset, but it's a beautiful thing to sit at a table with other guys my age, and specifically black men my age that are doing something not only at a high clip for themselves, but it's also impacting other people.
Most definitely, right? Most definitely.
Because you don't see that every day. And I think that's a huge deal. Like I'm locked in on the Olympics right now. Like
most definitely
every event I'm all in.
Noah Lyles just won too.
Yeah. And so I'm locked in on it. But I looked at the just from the standpoint of how far we've come, right? As a race itself. You look at the Olympic podium for gymnastics. The other night on the floor routine, you had Rebecca from Brazil won gold, Simone Biles and silver, and Jordan Childs. They're the first all-black podium ever in gymnastics.
Most definitely.
Which is wild, right? You wouldn't have heard that 5 years ago.
Most definitely.
And so you think about the progress that's been made on the Olympic stage, and then you also see that at more of a local level as well, and a regional level. I.e. what you're doing right now. So, and I know we can harp on the blessings of that, and I don't want to gloss over that, but I want to come back to it. But these for you, right? So I know you guys met through cousin, right? Take us through the desire to go forward with this and to say, man, okay, I'm going to take this seriously. I'm going to take ownership of my journey, because you were coaching at the time.
Most definitely.
Right?
With you.
You were coaching together. And so you're coaching, you got other things going on in your life, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to do something that's a little bit bold. I'm going to step on this limb and take that leap of faith. Talk us through that process, because I think that's a big deal.
To be honest with you, bro, and me and CJ talk about this damn it every other day. Shay just hit me up and asked me, hey, you still want to play football? I said, bro, I ain't played football in how long, bro? He said, bro, I've been telling you that you're great. Mm-hmm. I used to play 707 with him at GMC, flag football, all that good kind of stuff. But I never looked past that when it came to football.
Right.
Love football. I thought I was good at it. Never thought that what's going on now would happen. But I got in touch with CJ. He said, hey, just come try. You like it, we'll look at you and we'll go from there. Got to practice. I think there were like 35, 40 guys there. Great practice, fun. Just think back about it, bro. I was the only guy out there with no pads, no helmet. Didn't care.
Damn, don't want to tackle somebody.
I'm just being me. We're competitive, so I didn't care about none of that stuff. So when I got into it, he told me, hey, you got a spot you want. I said, hey, let me go back and think about it. And I talked to my cousin, Contagious Thomas.
Okay.
which he was already a running back for them. He said, "Hey, bro, I've been telling you to play. Look, just come play. We have fun, and we'll see what it goes for." I said, "Okay, cool." I think after the first game, I'm not gonna lie, I had some nerves. I ain't made contact, like full on contact with nobody in so long. I didn't want it to hurt.
Yeah.
First hit, I said, "Man, we good. we are good." So that happened. I think about third or fourth game. Because I told him I really just came out to see if I still had it, want to have fun, and just be with some new guys that I don't know.
So that was your why, though? Yeah. That was your why. You weren't trying to do nothing else.
Oh man,
you didn't have any visions of anything else, right?
No.
So CJ, back to you on the end game. You're in a scenario right now where you can look back and you said, "Hey, I've helped send guys to Division I level." We're gonna talk about DD going pro as well, but was that part of the initial equation? Like that was the plan.
That was the entire plan. Like I didn't when I put my name on something, I don't want nothing less than greatness behind it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when I started this team, I said I'm gonna put this person in college, these people to the pros, and how we're gonna get there, we're gonna figure it out. But this is the model that we're trying to. We're gonna come from the uniforms to the stadiums to just having guys take their profile pictures with the shirt and tie. It's like I wanted my team to be a certain way, so that way when scouts came, they say, "Okay, we can pick from this team." Right. You know what I'm saying? Other athletes can come out of college who needed a chance to maybe 1 or 2 more years of film develop. They can come here and then get picked up and go. Guys out of high school,
right.
If they needed a year or 2 to get better, they can come here and then they can go. So yeah, that was the whole reason I started the team.
Yeah,
that's the main reason I stayed. And he'll tell you that me and I had a conversation about me and you know it's like to run something.
Yeah.
So when it wasn't what he's seen, I want to try to help him get it there.
Yep.
And we just went from there. The main thing that he always preached was, let's be professional. Anybody that look at amateur football always think it's some BS going on, or the players don't care, or just it's trouble. You go to a game, you might not know it's a fight going to break out or something.
Right.
With Rampage, everything want to be professional. From, like you said, us taking pictures like we're in college. Yeah. Taking pictures with shirt top.
Yep.
No other semi-pro team do that.
Right.
Everybody else got either mixed match jerseys on, regular t-shirts on, stuff like that.
Yeah.
We weren't doing that. Our bands. We got bands come to the game. He had artists from Macon, Georgia come do halftime shows. He wasn't just trying to put us on just as football players, which that's the reason I love CJ.
Right.
It wasn't just us. Anything that had to do anything with Macon, he wanted to put it on.
So talk both of you guys, however you want to go with it, but talk me through then the fan experience of this, because I feel like with the bands, with the entertainment, I mean, that's got to be huge, right? For those supporters that are coming in, they're not just there to watch football now; they're there to have a true football experience at the stadium, all that. So tell me, give me a couple of things that the fans can look forward to in year 2.
So year 2 is gonna be bigger and better than ever. You know, with me going to Fort Valley, I understand what our people look at when they come to a football game. They care about the game, but they want to see the band. They want to interact. You know what I'm saying? And then when we go into Florida State, I see how people really care about professional organized football. So you just mix the two together. So year 2, man, we're trying to be almost like how Colorado is this year. You know what I'm saying?
There we go.
Like, I want to have the celebrities from the city of Macon to come down. I want to have just guest speakers. I want to have 2 bands this year. One on the home side, one on the away side. And I have a halftime show back with the bands. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't get that.
I want to have fireworks when we score touchdowns, like stuff running out of the tunnels and stuff like that. Like, I want to have the entire game day experience for a fan, because if you're paying $10 to $15 to come to a game, not only do we have vendors, I forgot to say that, we have vendors and tailgating.
Okay.
So you can pay to come in, but you don't have to go inside the game. You can stay outside, have fun, tailgate, get drunk, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah. So
I want it to be on a Saturday evening, Macon is the place to be, Henderson Stadium. Rampage home game. It's a family-friendly event. You know, you can come out there, socialize from 10 a.m. to 11 o'clock p.m. and then figure out what you're gonna do after that.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, so they can come out tailgate.
10 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
10 o'clock in the morning, we had fans out there.
Wow.
Tailgate.
So what about the older fans at home who can't get into the stands? What are we? Where are we moving to for them? Is that in the cards?
Yeah. So we did have our first home game streamed by Score 58, but that's sponsored by the league.
Okay.
So we're looking at different streaming platforms now.
Gotcha.
So we want somebody to stream all our home games and all our away games if possible.
Okay.
You know, so that's just another aspect we're trying to add for year 2.
So our audience now is big enough to where there's people that probably have different backgrounds. So if you're saying, hey, this is what we would maybe need to be able to stream this effectively, like who are you looking for? The right people, the right company? Like what does that look like right now?
Yeah, it's the right company. It's price-wise is the biggest thing because a lot of companies come from like Alabama or Florida or stuff like that. So I want to find somebody East in Atlanta or local, like closer, so that way we won't have to pay extreme amount of money, you know what I'm saying, for somebody to come for 2 hours.
Right.
You know, so yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Good deal. Well, hopefully we got some people on the show that are listening on that will catch fire on. So we're gonna take a quick break here, and once we get back, guys, we're gonna talk a little bit more, get a little bit deeper into D's journey on this front, and just talk about CJ's entrepreneurship and furthermore on that front. We'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, welcome back to the show. Hope you have enjoyed it so far. So I'm jumping right in here in this segment with CJ. Macon Rampage, 1 out of 50 roughly teams,
about 50, yeah.
in the league, and at least on their side of the region, they were the only first-year team in the league this year, and they finished in the top 50% of the league right away. But I want to talk about a rivalry that you guys developed right away, Cherokee County Bruins. So I'm gonna be quiet. I want you to take it away. I want to hear where this rivalry came from, how it got going, and sounds like it provoked a name change.
Right. So I'm gonna look dead in the camera. So first and foremost, I want to give the Cherokee County Bruins their flowers because I have a tremendous amount of respect for the organization as a whole. Because in the summer, when it was in the summer league, that gave me inspiration because, like I said, they had the cowbells, they had the fan engagement, they had everything you want out of an amateur football team. I felt like I was in high school again.
Yeah.
So that summer, of course, the team that was playing them that my cousin was on, they lost. That team is no longer around, but it was a good game. You know, we ended up joining the following spring, and they beat us up there at the first home game. Cool. All right, it's expected. You know. The second game, we played them at home. That was, we lost, but we lost by what? 3 points? 6 points? 6 points. Mm-hmm. And that game was more so like a
battle.
Auburn versus Alabama.
It's a battle.
Florida State, Miami, like that. It was one. We had got into the quarterback Sunshine's head. He got kicked out of the game. Yeah.
Oh man, he like to you. Hey,
like Sunshine.
Me and Sunshine had our words with each other, but I give respect to Sunshine. He's a baller.
Yeah, he's from Warner Robins. I don't know if y'all knew that.
No, I didn't know.
Sunshine's from the 478.
Wow.
He's a baller. Great pocket awareness, good with his feet, decent arm on him. I did catch a pick on him, but it's all good. But I'm gonna give his flowers for real. Like, he's a great dang player. But the rivalry really came after that first game.
Got you.
Because from our side, everybody else we weren't worried about. Bruins. That's all we kept hearing.
The Bruins.
Y'all ain't gonna ever beat the Bruins. And that first time we seen them, okay, yes, we lost about 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, it was 20-0.
Yeah.
Because they called a touchdown back and then they scored. They really didn't score until the last 3 minutes of the game. Like, something like that. So
it's a tight contest the first time. The second time around, the score reflected that, right?
Yeah.
So Macon Rampage. Well, I guess first of all, where did the elephant come from as far as the
So, all right.
Because everybody, I mean, that's, I was, when I first saw it, I was like, okay, they have the crimson, colors, they're going to elephant, he's got to be an Alabama fan or something, right?
And I'm not. That's the funny thing. I'm from Florida State. So, the thing about Alabama, and I get Alabama, they credit too, like, Alabama is the standard of college football today. Like, this is what it is. And I from a marketing standpoint, I said, if I get a uniform that's just plain, a helmet that's plain, is better to market, you know what I'm saying, it's cheaper. Fans can wear Alabama jerseys to the game. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just was an easier thing. So we had to change the name because originally it was the Crimson Tide. Mm-hmm. And I had to research. I said, okay, if Alabama sue a lady for making some little cookies, they would sue us.
Yeah.
So I immediately changed to Crimson Rampage. Then when I met Kevin, of course, he a Georgia fan, so he not liking it. I'm FSU, so I'm like, all right, whatever, we get rid of that. And so back to the Bruins, like I said, the reason why we changed from an elephant to now a wolf is that the wolves are the only animals that hunt bears. And the Bruins are a bear logo. I'm like, all right, this is finna get deeper than that. And we're more than just wolves. We're Native American wolves because of the Okmulgee National Monument in Macon. So I'm gonna tie that in. Yes, it's making history. Huge. Right, and so that was the biggest thing, man. I love the Bruins rivalry. They beat us 3 times.
Yeah. Hey man, you keep saying it though.
I mean, it's cool because they don't beat us.
It's part of it though. It's part of the history.
It's the reason why we have this rivalry. We 0-3 in the rivalry, but next season, I promise you, that is going to be the biggest game of the year.
Most definitely.
So for you, from and maybe even just put your entrepreneur hat back on for a second. You never really took it off, but thinking about it from, you said that's going to be the biggest game of the year, the one that you guys hold, because I guess you do a home and home.
Right.
The one in Macon, right? If you're saying, hey, how many fans does the stadium host?
The stadium can hold 8,000 people.
8,000. Yeah. So if you said, hey, in your vision, I want the place packed out, 8,000 people. From a marketing standpoint, how are you getting the people into that arena for that game specifically?
So I'll go back a little bit with the history of Macon and amateur football and the fans of Macon. They kind of, with Macon people are with you, they're with you. If they're not, they're not. There's this point, it ain't in between. So we had to clean up a lot of dirty work from other teams that let the city down.
Okay.
We caught hell getting the news out there. We still couldn't get it. We got the radio station, but like I said, once you get scarred like that, it's hard to do something without building rapport. So this year, what I'm gonna do for that particular game, y'all can get in for $5. Like if that's what it's gonna take, we have to have that particular game at least 3,000 or more, because as a player, you can feed off the energy of the crowd way more, and you can become something that you never thought you'd be. You know what I'm saying? Like, in one particular play in the playoffs, you made a diving interception at home. And I'm like, dude, I know you were good, but damn. Like,
man, look here, I'm telling you, all season, like he said, at the beginning of the season, we had fans, but it was tiptoeing, trying to see, okay, what is this Macon team gonna do?
Right.
And after they seen us win a couple games, especially at home, we started getting a little fan base. Oh, I come to the game. What's up, 14? Oh, hey, how you doing? Don't know who you're talking to. But like, who are you?
Yeah.
So, and then on that play he talking about, bro, when I say I was already a little amped up that game, that's our playoff game at home. First
time in the history of the team.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I got smacked. Like legit blindsided. Blood in my mouth and everything. And they were talking mad stuff. Fans in the background say, hey, you hit people like that. So you should take that. I said, hey, y'all don't worry about it. We good.
Yeah.
So I think the next series.
What's the next series?
The next series came my way, diving pit. And when I stood up, I looked to the crowd, and they was going crazy.
Man.
And then when I say, if I another side of me, that is amazing. And I want that more for our city and for our team. So
and staying hungry for that.
I'm going to say at that moment, I knew D was a professional football player. Cause that's a good check-in moment. Like you got blood in your mouth, and it's like, all right, am I gonna pick my pants up and fight, or am I gonna sit there and look crazy?
Yeah.
Like, at the next series, I'm talking about a diving pick. He up talking crazy, like I'm talking crazy. I'm like, all right, we going somewhere.
That's so. Man, that's big. So D, for you, bro. Talking about your journey for a second, right? Like I said, we were coaching. Well, first, which a lot of our audience knows, you had your own softball team.
Yep.
For a while, and then you headed off to the military. You came back. We were coaching together, but even before that, you were entering the minor league sector with baseball. You played in college, right? So you've had a journey over the last 11 years of your life.
I said a good 11, 12 years.
You've been in the scene of either getting to the amateur level, playing in it, helping girls to get to that level, collegiately speaking, from a softball standpoint, right? So you know what it takes, right? You know what that looks like. But sometimes when we know what it takes, we know what it looks like, and we're able to help other people get there, it's tough for us to give ourselves our own advice.
Most definitely.
At times, right?
Most definitely.
But you've done that, though. You have... You
slowly but surely.
Yes, but you've got it done.
Yeah.
Right? And so, and everybody's journey is different, right? Talk us through a little bit, though, of the challenges that have come with this decade stretch for you to even get to this point of saying, when you officially sign as a pro football player, hopefully in a few months, you're able to do that with a smile, but you're also able to do that with an understanding that there's been a lot of backstory with that. So if you're able to condense 10 years at all possible, how would you share that with the audience?
Easy. A lot of it comes with just dedication. Injuries was taking me out. Minor league baseball, college baseball, minor league baseball, the military. So even with all the injuries that came, I knew what I wanted to do. Football, in this aspect, no, didn't really think that was a thing until I met this man. But just staying dedicated, putting in the work, saying and doing what we preach to our girls. Hey, if you got a goal, you got a dream, I don't care what it takes, go after it. Go get it. And I can just say that with the help of this man, Coach John, Coach TJ, Coach Demar, Miss K, who else? Coach Shaq, Coach Stank, Coach Carlos. Just a great supporting team. Like our coaching staff, our organization as a whole, even Kevin, I talked to Kevin a few times. They were behind you. As long as you hold their belief, and that's being professional, working your tail off, being respectful to everybody in the organization, they're gonna back you.
Yeah.
Them telling me that, and mainly him, in mid of the season, I think we were talking on the phone, and I say, hey, bro, I'm just doing this for fun. He said, bro, why? You're good, bro. But we're gonna get you farther than this.
Yeah.
I said, I hear you.
Okay.
I just told you, I'm coming out here to see I still got it, have fun. But after he told me that, then I got my first offer for arena football.
Okay.
And that's what really opened my eyes.
Yeah.
Legit opened my eyes. I said, wait a minute. Maybe CJ didn't want line. I was talking to CJ then. I said, don't get me wrong. If arena football was the only thing, I'd probably test it out. But I don't really want to play arena football. I like the outdoors, 11-man football, regular field.
Yeah.
Arena football is smaller, guys running full speed at you before you even get moved type stuff. No, yeah. I'm good.
That's
bouncing off walls and whatnot, I'm good.
On concrete.
You know what I'm saying? No. But yeah, that would really open my eyes. I got, I think, 2 arena offers, and then that's when the other offer came.
Yeah. And we can't speak on the other offer right now, but when we have you back on the show after, sometime in 2025, I know we'll finally be able to have this conversation. But I'm excited for you on that front. But let me pivot for a second on the coaching side of things, because I had some of the girls on the show last week, or a couple weeks ago, Asia, Logan, and Casey, and we had too much fun with that.
A whole lot of fun, I seen.
But we talked a little bit about how truly coaches can make or break an experience.
Most definitely.
You just shared your gratitude to about a dozen coaches.
Most definitely.
Right? How important, though, were they in this journey? The pro part aside, how important were they, plus CJ as an owner, to making this experience what it was with the Rampage? For you as a player.
Simple. They were just like us. They didn't just care about us on the field. I mean, every coach I just named on the coaching staff, including CJ and our GM and the other owners, they didn't just care about us on that field. They had check up on us. We used to have conference calls on Signal, get on there, talk business, and then the rest of it, we just on there talking.
Yeah.
How your life going? You need any help? If you need anything, they always there for you. It just, they cared. Like I told you, that's a big thing for us.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we coached what we did. Because we wanted a coach. We know what we wanted as a player, so we wanted to be that coach.
Right.
And right out the gate, I got that from them. So when I get that, you can get my all. He tell you, man, hurt, sick, cold, I'm going to do whatever you want me to do because I know that you put your all in me. So I got to do the same thing.
Tried to literally drag this man off the field. Like, bro, your hand messed up, dude. Get off the field.
Yeah.
Man, I'm straight.
Fractured my hand in 2 places week 2. Sat out maybe 2-3 series that game.
Yeah, I remember, man. I'm like, bro, you got to be out for a couple weeks.
Nope. The following week, I was back on the field. Yeah. And I caught 2 picks that next game. I couldn't, man. I don't know. I ain't gonna say I felt like my team was depending on me, but I knew I got some brothers out there that I didn't want to leave out there for battle.
Right. No doubt about it. So, CJ, for you, man, back to you for 2 seconds. I mean, you had one of your players say, hey, this is what this experience has meant for me, right? Which, in my experience as a coach, your experience as a coach, when our players are able to share their true, genuine feelings about what we've meant to them, and that speaks for itself. I don't need to brag or be braggadocious about who I am and whatnot. That humility comes with the script, right? However, for you though, as an owner of this, and as somebody who genuinely cares for their players, because to me, I think that the type of person that you bring into the organization matters. Right, I think ultimately they make up what you're trying to pull off. Skill set aside, what type of human beings, as you move forward, are you trying to build with, grow with, not just in players, but the people that you put around you in terms of, streaming, band, concessions, ownership, the whole 9. What type of people are you looking for?
I'm gonna say, man, like me personally, I want people who are genuine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a genuine dude. I do stuff out of love, out of the heart chakra, you know what I'm saying? I do stuff out of that. So like people around me have to be on the same type of time, because if not, the whole ship will sink. You know what I mean? Like you have somebody envious of another person, that'll crash the business.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like people who, like I said, just genuinely put the goal first. You know what I mean? Like investing in ourselves, you know what I'm saying, men trying to do something better and be a better role model. That's just, like I said, that's that control, that's that, I just can't even put it into words almost. It's just like, it's a good essence. And people like that are people who I'm looking for in the future, not just, like I said, players, coaches, staff,
right? Everybody,
we're on the same mind frame and we're operating from the same place. Then the success of the team is, limitless. Yeah. And so those are the type of people I want around me and my organization moving forward.
That's big. So taking that a next step further and going into being able to add to the fan experience and all that. Talk me through social media. Talk me through using the internet as a source for sharing that love you speak of, because that I don't use that word lightly. I know Dean does not use that word lightly. So when you use that word, my eyes lit up because I'm like, okay, great. That's somebody who is truly saying, hey, this is the foundation of what I'm doing, right? Because if you're not doing this out of love, and if you're not doing this because you care about gentlemen like D, as somebody who was told they couldn't play anymore, you could very easily say, well, bump all them. I only care about the product on the field. But you said no to that, right? Taking that next step and going, okay, what can I do on social media? How are you using social media, I guess, as a tool to share that love, share Macon Rampage, and all that you're trying to do off the field as well with it?
So our biggest social media person is Ball So Hard, man. He makes all the clips and highlights and stuff like that. So just that one aspect shows the football side.
Right.
And so I take it upon myself to, okay, guys, we got this event going on. Let's put on the jerseys and let's help out. Let's take pictures to show that we're more than just football players, that we care about the community that we're asking for money from.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just come somewhere and say, hey, give me this, give me that, and you're not giving back.
Right.
So one of our first home game, we had a toy giveaway for all the kids, free toys everywhere. Kids loved it. They came, they got, it was no limit to what you could get.
Yeah.
So that was a big plus. We also had one of my guys, Ivan Pitts. He does the laser training.
Okay.
We did a 40-yard dash for the kids, you know,
wow.
at halftime. The kids loved it.
Yeah.
So it's like, you feel me? So it's like the fact that we doing stuff off the field and we just doing like community things and we're posting on our Instagram, Facebook, stuff like that. That kind of shows, okay, Rampage is bigger than just football. Rampage cares. You know, the Rampage is the community of Macon. We're not just in Macon, we are Macon.
Right.
So that is one way that we use social media to really broadcast what we're doing, how we're doing it, and when we're doing it. So, yeah.
You say we're not just in Macon, we are Macon, and I think that's an important, to me, I can tell that's more than just a tagline for you.
Yeah.
Talk me through your upbringing, your family life, that dynamic a little bit, and how that has impacted who you are today as a young man.
So I'm big on family. I got a huge family. We're from Macon, born and raised. I was there when Macon was a bad place to be. You didn't want to, me going to Fort Valley, they said, where you from, CJ? I'm from Macon. Ooh, black people legit got scared. And I'm like, all right, when I go places, I don't want people afraid of the city that I'm from. So if I'm going to be any type of good human, I'm going to pour back into the city that birthed me, you know, and positively.
Right.
And so at first I kind of resented the city. I kind of just wanted to get away and not be associated at all. Like, I went to Fort Valley, then I went to Florida State, and I went to Atlanta, and I said, you know what, you can come back. Let me come back home. And being around like-minded individuals that want to see the city do better,
yes,
that really motivated me to really dig in and just care, you know, about the city and about people in the city. Because if not me, then who? You know what I'm saying? Like, I went to Northeast, I know what it's like, you know. So those kids needed a role model. I didn't have one. I just didn't have a person who I could look at that came from my high school, my city, that did something positive, came back and stayed.
right.
Yeah.
And that's not throwing a shot at anybody that became successful and left. It's just more so, okay, you got your success, but now what's going? You know what I mean? I want to be that, like how the Rock said, the people's champ. I want to be that person that
That's right.
when you mention Macon, you got no choice but to mention the Rampage.
Right.
You know, and just my upbringing is just, my granddad always said, you can take a boy out of the country, but you can never take the country out of the boy. That's just, you take me out of Macon, you can never take Macon out of me. So like,
Right.
it's my duty, I feel like, to help where I can, and that's my platform of sports, to make this city better, make it safer, just invest positively and give these kids something, even adults, something to positively cling to. Because another thing that we don't talk about as men is like suicide. You know, I struggled with that, with suicide and depression when I was in Tallahassee. When I didn't have any financial aid money, they were telling me, man, you got to figure out how to pay this amount of money or you got to go back home.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is my favorite school in the world, like, ever.
what I wanna
So I was struggling with that, and I'm like, dang, I ain't got nobody to talk to, nobody to vent to. And so a lot of times with football, it gives us something that a lot of us didn't have as brothers, father figures.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just friends. You know what I'm saying? This is an outlet so we escape all our demons. And we just we in a place of peace for however long we're there. And that's another big driving force. I want the Rampage to be a place where it's a safe place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As long as you respect the game, respect each other, it'll respect you in return. Like yin yang type thing. So that's that, man. Like, I was real big on family. I was brought up that way. My dad was a big baseball player, a real good baseball player. He wasn't really present as much, but we rekindled that relationship because I just can't operate out of a place of hatred and resentment. That ain't me at all. So
right.
I took it upon myself to mend that relationship with him.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I had to pause it because, like, bro, like, that's Pops, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I get the baseball skill from him.
Yeah.
So I got to be around you some kind of way.
Yep.
And it's proud to see that he's proud of me and that he understands that, all right, one of my sons out here really working and doing something. So yeah, that's that, man.
Man, that is beautiful, brother. That's on that note, we're gonna take one last break, guys. We'll come right back after the break. These guys are gonna give you a little bit of advice on entrepreneurship, on being an athlete. I'll share a little bit with you as well, and we'll get you out of here. Hey everybody, welcome one last time to the show. So I've enjoyed this experience, getting an opportunity to talk with Didi and CJ about not only the Macon Rampage, but just the opportunities, their journey to this point. Hopefully you've learned a little bit about this. Obviously this is a softball, baseball podcast. There's so much to learn from entrepreneurs like CJ, just persevering athletes and human beings like D, obviously. So with that being said, in the spirit of taking things to the next level, CJ, you've had a hand in helping guys like D have an opportunity to go pro and also play at the collegiate level coming off of the Rampage. How many guys thus far have you helped do that?
So about 10. Like I said, we got 3 guys right now that have signed or whatnot, another 3 that's having tryouts. We had guys, of course, with UFL tryouts. We sent a couple guys to college. So that's about 10 guys.
Okay. And so that's 10 guys off of a 35-man roster.
Right.
Which is crazy after one season. This year, you're looking to add to that 35-man roster, right? What is that going to look like?
So we're looking at 60. We want to have a good 60 guys, 53 position guys, and 7 specialists. So we want to have a bigger roster this time, more opportunity.
In the spirit of leveraging connections, getting the guys opportunities, right? Because the guys have to go out and perform at tryouts and whatnot. But how have you leveraged those connections to get those opportunities at the pro level and collegiate level?
It was more so like I said, we're the most viral team out, and when I reached out to the GM of the team that D's currently with, like I said, he already knew who we were, and I'm like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like these people are in a whole other state, you know, and at some clips we had 17,000 views, 18,000 views, and I'm like, wow, we, you know,
we get up there,
right? And it's just like when I talk to him, when I talk to other coaches, because I currently coach at Central Georgia Technical College. I'm an assistant linebacker coach. And that's another pipeline. With me working there as a coach, I can say, hey, these 2 guys on my team here can make an impact. Mm-hmm. And same thing with the pro level. They already know that, all right, we're breeding top tier talent. So we were actually offered to be an official feeder team. You know, and it's like, that's big in our first year. Huge. You know what I mean? So we're the team that these pro organizations and colleges are looking at to get talent from.
Got you. Okay, that's huge, man. So D, you being on the player side of this, right, which is still crazy to me, man, to think about, right? That you're getting this opportunity to go play at the pro level, and I know you're gonna make the most of it. But before we jump into the business of that, and we won't do that on this show. Talk me through just the genuine excitement, the feels of having this opportunity.
To be honest with you, bro, and it's just me, heart to heart. God sent. Hey, life ain't been the easiest for the past year or so, or a couple years. Family issues, but the main reason I grind the way I do, I stay focused, I put in the work like I'm supposed to, is just because of our girls, number one. Well, not number one. Mom Dukes is number one. Just because of everything she's going through.
Yep.
I want to be that one to, hey, you ain't got to worry about nothing, no woman. I want to take care of it all.
Yeah.
Two, it's our girls. Our girls is gonna forever be special to me. Not just our, I'm gonna take it back, not just our girls, all the girls I've ever coached.
Yep.
I have girls that still from off the shop that still hit me up. Coach D, you playing football now? Yes. Well, I see you doing thing, keep doing it. That's a boost to me, bro. Because we tell girls all the time, hey, no matter what you're facing, knowing the obstacles you gotta do, if that's your dream, that's your goal, go get it.
Chase it.
So that's what I'm doing. When I got my call, man,
You called me, man. I was thinking, you know what I mean?
I'm super excited, bro. I don't know. Jump on my shoes. Another reason, it's my little family. My sons and stuff, bro. Give them something to look up to.
Yeah.
And come to a game and hear little boy, Daddy, you playing football?
Yeah.
I want to play football now. Inspiring, bro. I don't know. I'm just excited. I'm ready. Like I said, I couldn't do half of this stuff without CJ, all my coaches, some of my brothers on that field, Mike Jones, Naja. Mike Jones. Yeah, Mike Jones, Terrell, Naja, Kevin, and Stank, even though he went on the field, TJ, all them boys, they put so much into me, not just on the field, off the field, and I'm just ready to get this started so I can come back and help too.
Yeah.
I told them that's a big thing for me. If this organization did this for me when I was, I'm gonna keep saying it until they hear me. I am a minor league baseball player that's going to play professional football.
That's got a nice ring to it, bro.
Man,
That's got a beautiful ring to it, man. And
so I gotta give it back to him.
that's huge. And the passion in your voice, I mean, I already know, but like, for those who don't know you personally, it's like, I think at the end of the day, they have to understand the true feelings that you have. We just do the passion in your voice with it, right? When you talk about your why, I mean, you no longer have to speak on to your boys like, hey, yeah, I used to play baseball, I used to be an athlete. I know they can come to the game and see you play.
Yeah.
And then not coming to the game just to see you play, like you said, this is not a rec league situation.
Right.
Like, this is amateur football, right? That they got an opportunity to see you play in, and then now you're taking that to another level, right? Which is huge. And so, with that being said, man, I know we can talk all day, and I want to talk all day, but I know that for our audience, from an advice standpoint, for you, and you think about your journey. The ebbs and flows of it, all the ups and downs, the hills and valleys and everything that you've been through to get to this point, and you're not done yet. This isn't the apex, right? This is
most definitely not.
Just the beginning of the next phase, right? Perseverance is 1,000,000% part of your story. I mean, that's a severe understatement. What advice would you give to the athletes out there that need to hear your story?
Stick to your why. But when you figure out that why, use that as your motivation. Don't ever give up. Don't ever let anybody deter you from your dreams, your goals. Stick to it, grind it out. Appreciate the ups and downs. I think that's what's different for me from a lot of athletes that I know is they harp on their failures.
Yeah.
And I used to, but I can't. I don't regret anything out of life. I accept my bads, my uglies, my goods, and my pretties. And I run with it because I know why I'm doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So stick to your why. If you can know your why and you can stay true to it, never give up. I promise you, everything else will fall in place.
Sticking to the why means that you're not going to allow the shortcomings to deter you.
No.
Right? Because you've had a lot of life things that could have made you turn the other way and run. Right? But you just look at the injuries alone that you've had over the last 11 years, 10 years, or whatever.
Most definitely.
All of those could have taken somebody else out for
Most
good,
definitely.
mentally speaking. So I think that's huge, man. And I hope that our audience understands that everybody's journey is different.
Most definitely.
However, the ones who make it to where you are and where you know that they're trying to go, those people are cut from a very specific cloth.
That's not made anymore.
Exactly.
Like, that's a big thing.
And that's a huge thing. And so that's where today's young athletes, the majority of our audience listen to this show, that's what I want them to understand, is that it's nobody cares that it's hot outside. Nobody cares that you gotta work out a little harder than the person next to you. It's just it's all about what you can bring to the table, right? Can you be of value to your team and ultimately elevate your team to a level that is better than its contemporaries, right? So again, bro, I hope that advice sinks in for our audience. CJ, to you, man, or for you, or from you rather, for the entrepreneur out there, because we have players, coaches, families who listen to this show. For those who are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, doesn't matter. If they're looking to become a business owner, aside from the nuances of what it took to start Rampage, right? Because it's not easy to start anything new. What would be your advice for the entrepreneurial spirit out there?
I mean, I like to quote Kobe Bryant a lot. I got a tattoo on my arm. It said, "You asked for my hustle, I gave you my heart."
Wow.
And it's like,
No said.
you feel me? Like, if you want to start something, it's a business venture, it's not going to be easy, you know. You will have to give up a lot of things. Maybe that 9 to 5, maybe it's going out, maybe it's doing this, that. But to the entrepreneur, I say really find out, like D said, find your why. Mm-hmm. Because it's not easy, especially in my case, I'm a single man, no kids, no nothing. But for somebody who has a family, it's not easy to say, hey, I'm about to stop this 9 to 5. Yep. And I'm about to put all my energy into this business venture that's been bugging me for 5-6 years. Because like J. Cole said, even if you let them kill, your dream is going to haunt you. And most that's my biggest fear in life, is to be a woulda, coulda, shoulda been.
Yeah.
And so to the entrepreneur, man, it's like, take that chance. You're going to fail. That's point blank, but it's okay to fail. In your failure, that's when you learn your character. Like,
man, preach, bro. Preach it, bro.
Like that is something that I can attest to. Like, I done failed time and time again, but one thing about me, I'm not easily broken, bro. Like, I'm created from the creator, so you can't beat me.
Yeah.
So I apply that not only to sports, I apply it to life, to business, to everything. So put your all into it. Like, get around like-minded people, operate from a good place, and the law of attraction is gonna fall right in your lap. You know what I'm saying? They say he don't come when you want to be always on time.
Yeah, always on time.
That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Right there.
That's exactly what's gonna happen, man. So it's like, really take your time, do your research, get the business structure down first. You don't want to skip steps, and then get around people who are doing what you're doing or have done what you're trying to do.
Right.
That's a big thing too. We get a lot of advice from people that's never been anywhere. Like, how can I get a relationship advice from somebody never been married?
Yeah.
So get around the like-minded people. You know, get a little grit about you. You know what I'm saying? You lose $150, so what? You know, figure out what it takes to make $250.
Yeah.
So that's my advice, man. Like I said, stay the course, hard nose, man. Keep your faith up, and just don't. No matter what happens, if you keep putting something in that bucket, something gonna come out. Remember, whether it's a day, hour, year, 10 years, something's gonna happen if you stay consistent with it.
Yeah. You know, man, and I appreciate that. And one thing I want to add to that, if you don't mind, is simply put, man, just start.
That's it.
You know what I mean? I've been running for a long time. Like I run multiple miles a day. He thinks I'm crazy sometimes, right? My players think I'm crazy. But for those who come to me and say, "Hey, Demetrius, how do I get a running plan?" And jokingly, but I'm serious. Just start.
You got to run.
Just go. Like put the clothes on or whatever, and go outside and take the run. Like go just start.
Yeah.
Same thing in my opinion with being a business owner. You have to simply just start. And once you have all of the ingredients in, and you know you made all the little tweaks or whatever, you've taken the time to mold the preseason phase, if you will, like you want it. Now just go do it.
Yeah.
And you're going to fail along the way. You're going to stumble along the way. And as I said earlier in the show, like Macon Rampage does not look like a first-year startup team, right? That means that you've taken the necessary steps in the early goings to get it to that point. But that doesn't mean that there weren't failures along the way. That doesn't mean that you didn't have to make tweaks along the way, and you're still going to make those over the next few years to get it to be the Rampage that you want it to be at the end of the day. So, but my thought you should know moment, guys, to wrap up the show, and it's so crazy because you really don't have to look any further than people like DD, people like CJ, myself. But because this only comes around every 4 years, the Olympics, right? My big encouragement to you is that you take a look at the Olympics, right? I know we've got a few more days, actually the Olympics is over now, but take those athletes, whether it's the American athletes from a different country. I mean, there's thousands of athletes that have participated in the Olympics over the last couple of weeks. You can go look up their stories online, right? You can't really look up my story online or DD's or CJ's.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Right? But you can look up their stories, and you can understand their journey. You can see what they had to go through to get to where they are to become an Olympic athlete, whether they won gold, silver, bronze, or didn't place at all. They're the best in their country at what they do.
They got there.
Right? And I say that because what you should find in all of their stories is adversity.
Most definitely.
At some point, right? And because adversity is a part of all of our stories, then that simply means that you have to overcome that at some point in your life to get to wherever you want to go, right? There's no reason to fear anything. You just have to go through it, right? And so that is my ultimate advice to you guys as we wrap up the show. DD, CJ, I want to thank you both, man.
Thank you for real, bro. Always a pleasure.
Oh, no doubt, man. I enjoyed this a lot. I know that there probably has to be a part 2, 3, 4 at some point. Because that's how this works. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. We're going to wrap this thing up like we always do. So please, let everything you do be done in love. Because at the end of the day, that is truly what makes the world go round. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And we'll catch you next time.